FIA president pushes for more F1 races despite driver opposition. Brace yourselves, motorsport fans, the future of Formula One could grow larger and louder, or at least that's what FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem believes. But here's where it gets controversial. Many inside the paddock think extending the already intense schedule would be a step too far. Ben Sulayem is currently preparing to defend his position as president of the FIA against challenger Tim Mayer in this year's election. For those new to the scene, the FIA, Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, is the main governing body for worldwide motorsport, so its leadership hugely influences how Formula One is shaped and managed. Ben Sulayem originally took over from Jean Todt in 2021, earning 62% of the votes. However, his term has often been overshadowed by strong opposition. One key criticism is that the 63-year-old is allegedly seeking changes to FIA statutes that might bolster his authority and make re-election challenges more difficult. Another hotly debated issue is Ben Sulayem's approach to expanding F1 in ways that some find too disruptive. For instance, Mercedes chief Toto Wolff spoke out against Ben Sulayem's proposal to return to V10 engines, a famously beloved but long-abandoned format, arguing that such a move contradicts modern sustainability goals and engine regulations for future seasons. Although that V10 idea has been rejected, Ben Sulayem is still demonstrating eagerness to consider other significant changes. One of his main ambitions is to make the Formula One calendar even bigger. Right now, the schedule for 2025 already boasts a joint record 24 Grands Prix, plus 6 F1 sprint events. With the Belgian Grand Prix up next for a sprint, many drivers have begun raising their eyebrows at how crowded the season looks. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about watching more races. Teams, journalists, and families of everyone involved must absorb the intense travel and workload week after week. Here's the official Belgian Grand Prix timetable if you're curious about how packed a race weekend can be. Friday, July 25th to Sunday, July 27th. Friday, July 25th at 11:30, first practice. Friday, July 25th at 14:30, first sprint qualifying. Friday, July 25th at 14:49, second sprint qualifying. Friday, July 25th at 15:06, third sprint qualifying. Saturday, July 26th at 10 o'clock, sprint. Saturday, July 26th at 1400 hours, first qualifying. Saturday, July 26th at 14:25, second qualifying. Saturday, July 26th at 14:48, third qualifying. Sunday, July 27th at 1300 hours, race. Despite strong feedback from drivers asking the FIA not to add more events, Ben Sulayem believes there's room to grow even further and has particularly highlighted Africa as a neglected market for Formula One. Rumors claiming Rwanda would be a focus point for such expansion have circulated, but Ben Sulayem clarified that he doesn't strictly favor Rwanda over other African options. Instead, he emphasized that the continent itself deserves greater attention. But here's where it gets extra tense. Max Verstappen, a four-time champion with Red Bull, has already labeled the current 24-race calendar way over the limit, calling it unsustainable. Carlos Sainz shares these concerns, noting that 24 races strain not only drivers but also team members, personnel, and even media who travel across the globe. If the schedule gets pushed beyond 24 rounds, both drivers and crews fear it could become too extreme to balance professional demands with personal life. So what do you think? Is more always better, or will an ever-expanding Formula One season eventually collapse under its own weight? Some argue that new markets, including parts of Africa, offer fresh opportunities for fans and sponsors. Others worry that pushing the calendar further is a recipe for burnout. Share your viewpoint. Do you welcome the idea of extra races, or should 24 be the absolute ceiling to maintain the sport's balance? Jump into the debate. F1 V8 engines return. FIA president hints at 2029 switch from V6 hybrids. The president of the FIA has just made a significant suggestion regarding the future of Formula One that could excite many fans. Mohammed Ben Sulayem, who took on the role of FIA president in December 2021, has hinted at a potential shift back to V8 engines, which could replace the current V6 hybrid engines by the year 2029. This proposal comes amidst a growing chorus of fans expressing their desire to return to the thrilling sound and performance of V8 engines. Currently, Formula One teams are utilizing V6 hybrid power units, which have not been particularly well received due to their quieter operation compared to the roaring V12 and V10 engines of the past. The V6 hybrid engines, introduced in 2014, have been criticized for lacking the auditory excitement that many fans associate with the sport's glory days. Earlier this year, President Ben Sulayem suggested a return to V10 engines for the upcoming season, a proposal that was met with enthusiasm from fans but not so much from the teams, leading to a significant confrontation in Bahrain where teams reaffirmed their commitment to the existing regulations. Recently, during a press conference at Silverstone, Ben Sulayem elaborated on the complexities and costs associated with the current engine technology, stating, "The current engine is so complicated, you have no idea. And it is costly. R&D is reaching $200 million. He further noted that the cost of a single engine ranges from approximately $1.8 to $2.1 million, suggesting that a straightforward V8 engine could be a more commercially viable option. But could this shift back to V8 engines make Formula One more accessible? This question is particularly relevant as discussions about expanding the grid to include more teams are also taking place. The FIA president has indicated a desire to increase the number of teams in Formula One to 12. Notably, Audi is set to enter the sport next year by taking over the Swiss-stake F1 team Kick Sauber operation, and Cadillac is also planning to join the grid in 2026. Ben Sulayem has argued that a return to V8 engines could enhance the accessibility of Formula One, but he is clear that adding a 12th team should not be done just for the sake of filling the grid. He emphasized, "Do we have to fill up the grid with a 12th team for the sake of filling up the grid with a 12th team? No. It will be the right team." This is a developing story that could have a massive impact on the future of Formula One, and the potential return to V8 engines is certainly a topic that many fans will be watching closely. What do you think about this possible change? Would a return to V8 engines enhance the sport, or do you believe the current hybrid technology is the way forward? Share your thoughts in the comments. FIA boss reveals timeline for possible V8 return in F1 future engine era. Imagine a world where the roar of V8 engines reverberates through the racetracks of Formula One once again. The excitement and nostalgia of simpler times in the sport could soon be upon us. The FIA has revealed a timeline for a potential V8 comeback by 2029, igniting hope among fans and teams alike. As we approach a new chapter in Formula One starting in 2026, the introduction of updated 1.6-liter V6 hybrid engines is on the horizon. These new engines are set to eliminate the complex MGUH component and operate on fuels that are fully sustainable, contributing to the sport's push for environmental responsibility. But FIA President Ben Sulayem feels there's a strong case for revisiting the V8 engines and has reiterated that this move is very much a possibility. Speaking to the press at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, he confidently stated, "To us, the V8 is happening." His optimism reflects not just personal belief but a broader consensus among teams, with the Formula One management, FOM, lending their support to this initiative. The current hybrid engines, which were rolled out in 2014, have drawn criticism for their complexity and prohibitive costs. Sulayem pointed out that the development expenses for these power units hover around an alarming $200 million per manufacturer. In addition, each modern F1 power unit can exceed a staggering $2 million in construction costs. The current engine is so complicated, you have no idea, and it is costly, Sulayem emphasized, shedding light on the financial burden that comes with these advanced technologies. It seems that a pivot back to V8s could ease some of these financial strains. Many manufacturers already produce V8 engines for their commercial vehicles, making it commercially viable and logistically easier to revert to this configuration. Moreover, a V8 revival would not only reduce costs but also deliver that thrilling sound that many fans have been yearning for, which has been muffled by the quieter current engines. Echoing this sentiment, Sulayem mentioned that the shift to V8s could foster a significant reduction in vehicle weight while rekindling the traditional engine sound that fans love. He noted, "We need to do it soon, you need 3 years, so hopefully by 2029 we have something there." However, he also acknowledged the challenge posed by increasing fuel costs and the high prices associated with transmissions, emphasizing the necessity for budget-friendly solutions within the sport. Historical context helps frame this discussion. Formula One utilized naturally aspirated V8 engines from 2006 until 2013, before transitioning to the complex turbohybrid V6 engines we see today. This shift aimed to enhance energy efficiency and reflect advancements in automotive technology, attracting manufacturers like Honda into the fold. Although this change advanced the sport technologically, it inadvertently widened the performance gap between teams and hampered the competitiveness of independent teams. The 2026 regulations are drawing considerable interest from manufacturers, with established names like Audi, Ford, Honda, and General Motors eager to join under the new rules, which prioritize innovation and sustainability. Yet, Sulayem emphasizes that the sport must not lose sight of the combustion engine's potential. Making the hybrid is one thing, but we also need to focus on combustion engines, he articulated, bringing attention to the importance of balance in the competition. He raised a compelling question: is one team going to run away with it next season? This concern highlights the need for fairness within the FIA. As new entrants arrive, protective measures must be in place to ensure that competition remains vibrant. Ultimately, the push for lower costs surfaces as a recurrent theme in this discourse. The FIA sees numerous opportunities to reduce expenses, encompassing fuel use and the possibility of adopting single suppliers for specific components, as teams confront the stark reality of rising costs in Formula One. So, what are your thoughts? Are you excited about the potential return of V8 engines, or do you think we should stick with the current hybrid technology? Let's hear your opinions.